This is a hypnotic meditation from Colchester Cognitive Hypnotherapy and Wellbeing Centre. Do not listen while driving, operating machinery, or undertaking any task that requires your full attention and responsibility. Find yourself a quiet place where you can listen to this undisturbed, preferably with headphones. Take a moment to get comfortable, allowing your body to rest in whatever way feels most natural. You might like to close your eyes now, or in a moment when it feels right to do so. And as you settle, notice how the body is already beginning to respond. A small shift in the shoulders, a deeper breath, a sense of settling that happens all by itself. That's right. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to push anything away. The body knows how to rest when it's given permission. And as you listen, you might begin to wonder where anger lives in you. Not to stir it up, but to become curious. Does it have a shape? A colour? A temperature? Does it live in the chest, the throat, the stomach, or somewhere else entirely? For some, anger feels like heat, for others, a tightness. And sometimes it's not even anger anymore, just a kind of tiredness that's been held for too long. You don't need to name it perfectly. Just notice it. Because anger isn't an enemy, it's a message. It's the body's way of saying something mattered here. And perhaps for a long time, that anger was doing its best to protect you. Like an old guard dog who barked whenever something came too close. It didn't know the danger had passed. It only knew its job was to keep you safe. So maybe for a moment, you can thank it. You can say quietly, I know you were trying to protect me. And just as you say that, something inside might begin to shift. The guard dog realizing it can lie down now, that it's done its job well. You don't have to force that shift. The body knows how to soften when it feels safe. And maybe you can imagine a small light somewhere inside. A soft golden light that holds warmth without burning. And it glows quietly, perhaps around the chest or the heart, spreading slowly through the body. This light isn't about control, it's about remembering. Remembering how to feel safe, how to rest, how to let the nervous system believe that the danger is over. And as that light moves, it might touch the places that once held tension. The jaw unclenching, the shoulders easing, the breath dropping lower, the stomach softening. That's it. And in these spaces you might notice small memories rising, like pages floating up from the bottom of a lake. Some you may recognize, some you may not. You don't have to read them. You can just let them float by, knowing they no longer need to be held. Because the mind can let go of what the body no longer clings to. And the body can release what the mind no longer repeats. And perhaps now you can imagine standing in a landscape that feels calm and safe. Maybe a meadow after rain, maybe the edge of a quiet lake, maybe a clearing in a forest, maybe someplace you have been to that feels safe to go to again, where the air is clear, the light is soft. And somewhere nearby there's a small fire. It's gentle, steady. This fire represents anger in its healed form. Warmth, energy, life force. It's the same fire that once burned too hot, now learning how to glow in balance. You can feel its warmth on your skin. It doesn't scorch anymore, it simply warms. You might even notice how that warmth moves through your body. Not as tension, but as vitality. And as you breathe in, you can imagine that warmth filling you with strength. And as you breathe out, it carries away old heat, old stories, old burdens. Inhaling strength and exhaling release. Inhaling strength and exhaling release. That's right. And it's interesting how the more you release, the lighter you feel. The lighter you feel, the more you release. And some people find that they begin to forget what it was they were holding on to so tightly. Not forgetting in a forced way, but in a natural, gentle way. As if the mind decides that's no longer necessary. You may even forget where the beginning and the end of the story was, because all stories change once they're understood. And perhaps as you listen to my voice, or maybe to the spaces between my words, part of you begins to realize something else. That you can be strong and calm. That you can protect and connect. That you can remember and release. Because anger doesn't disappear, it transforms. It becomes clarity, assertiveness, truth. And perhaps you can imagine that now. That small flame at the center of you burning steadily, cleanly, giving light without harm. It warms your chest, it lights your eyes, it fuels your voice when you need to speak your truth. You don't have to control it. You simply have to tend it the way one tends a campfire, feeding it gently, knowing when to let it rest. And maybe as you rest here, there's a sense of peace beginning to weave through, like the quiet after rain, or the exhale after holding your breath for too long. You might not even notice when it began, that calm, but it's here now, growing quietly beneath the surface. And as your mind drifts, you might forget what you were trying to remember, or remember something you thought you'd forgotten, and that's fine. Because the subconscious knows how to reorder things, to file what's ready to be filed, to release what's ready to be released. You don't have to do anything. You can just rest, allowing this process to continue in its own rhythm. Because sometimes healing isn't about effort, it's about permission. Permission to rest. Permission to feel. Permission to soften. And as you begin to imagine yourself returning to daily life, perhaps later today or tomorrow or in a few days, you might notice small changes. Moments where the body relaxes sooner. Times when the breath feels easier. Conversations that once felt charged, now feeling neutral. These are the signs of your nervous system learning safety again. And even if you forget some of the words that you've heard that I've said, that's all right. Because the part of you that needed to hear them has already heard them. And in the quiet space that follows this, you might take a deep, slow breath in and let it go gently, knowing that something important has already begun to shift. And you can return, if you wish, to this place of calm again and again whenever you choose. Because the fire that once burned too hot has become your light now. And that light belongs to you. And that's right. And then just gently coming back into the awareness of your body, the sense of the space that you are in right now. Take a few nice, deep, energizing breaths. Pull yourself up a little taller. And when you're ready, open your eyes.